cell phone was there the whole time, or you were holding it in your other hand, stuff like that. Just the circular mind fuck that happens on acid. So anyways, this kid finally says we can come over, and at this point we were tripping nutsack. All I remember is his road that we're walking on goes like this, and this is the main road that goes up to this other kid's house we're gonna go to. So we walk over there, we start going up this main road, and we're walking in the grass on the side of the road. At this point it splits back out, and kind of late. And yeah, the grass is probably like a foot tall, but it felt like it was up to here. Like we're walking through the jungle, patties of Nam. Just like up to our chest, feels super dramatic, like we're in a safari. The grass is just like hitting me up here, even though it's, up to my knees maybe realistically. And cars going by on the road left, like they all seem like they're underwater, like submarines. Like every car would go by, like leave like a trail. It was like surrounded by this capsule of water and leaving like a trail of like energy bubble water stuff behind it. And obviously the streaking, so it's like you could see the history of the cars that had passed by in light. It was just really crazy. So we're just taking this trek up the road. It's only a mile, but of course it feels like forever because you're on acid. And it just feels like the longest trek ever. And we get to the bottom of this kid's driveway. I've never been to his house before, but you start walking up and they have all this psychedelic art all over their property, like this crazy wooden carved bear waterfall. It's like massive by their driveway, and like all these psychedelic sculptures and just all this crazy shit. So we're like tripping out, just making it up to this kid's back door. We make it up to his back door, they let us in. They're just the kid that owns the house and the kid that sold us the L. They're just chilling, playing video games, having a mellow night, smoking some weed, chilling, and we're just like stumbling in like, I have no idea what's going on. The world is bubbles, and this one kid, we'll call him Peen, since everything's penis related, like my friend Dildo. And Peen was just not impressed with us. He's not like the happiest kid. He's like kind of grumpy. And the other kid, call him Pooh. He's like a blonde kid, really friendly, and he's the one that sold us the L. And he was like, he felt it, he knows we've never really tripped before, so he's like, all right, we're gonna help these kids out. And yeah, he's just really kind, and we're just tripping out, chilling, watching them play video games. And like at this point, like my phone screen looks like when you've poured water on it and everything's a rainbow and pixelated and you can't read it. And like my mom or something had texted me goodnight, and I was trying to respond, and I just had to give my phone to this other kid to text my mom like goodnight for me or something, because we're 15, 16. And yeah, I just remember chilling in that room for a while. Shit just got weirder and weirder, and the acid was taking hold even more. And I look over at my friend Pooh, the blonde kid who's been really kind to me, and I look over at him. He's just got this Cheshire cat grin, like his teeth go all the way up the side of his face, and he has 6 eyes. Eyes in one normal place, one like kind of in between your eyebrows and your eyelids, and like one right below. So he had 6 eyes. He's like, you're gonna be okay, trust me. I was like, I can't even take you seriously, dude. You have 6 eyes right now. He's like, oh, alright, okay. So anyways, we're chilling there for a while, and we're feeling real cooped up. We want to move around. This kid's room is small. So they take us on this mysterious walk, and we start walking back on their property, like down this trail. It seemed kind of far. I was like, how big is this kid's property? And we end up at this barn, and they take us, and we walk up these stairs, and they open the door, and just all these lights are shining bright and glory. It's a warm wooden barn But you know, one side of it's done up with like mylar or whatever reflective material, and there's just like 6 to 8 giant weed plants in there, and it just blew my mind because they never mentioned it or anything. I was like, it doesn't smell like weed, because like my nose was super off and I didn't know what was going on. My senses were all mixed up. I was like, is this really weed? Like, what is this? Like, what's going on? Like, we've never heard about this. Like, what is this? What's going on? Like, what's the deal here? What happens next? And like, I don't know, they're like trying to explain the plants to us or something, but you know, I barely am understanding human speech or what's even going on. So I just like go up to one of the leaves and just rip off a giant fan leaf. Dick move on my part, but you know, I had no idea what was going on. I was like smelling it. I was like, this doesn't smell like weed. This doesn't smell like weed. What is this? Like, what is this? And it's like I just couldn't smell right. It just smelled like a weed plant and veg. I just had no idea at the time. Oh my god. I'm glad they weren't pissed at me for just ripping a leaf off their plant, but you know, I went to hold one. A ganja leaf. We're chilling up there. I'm feeling like pretty comfortable because it's like, okay, it's a nice bright room. There's weed growing. This is cool. It's a barn. A little bit more space, not so cramped as the room before. We're chilling. He puts on this song. I'm like, what is this? Like techno? Like, what is this? Like, what kind of electronic music is this? This song is dope. Like, what is this? Like funk techno? Like. He's like, no, it's a Grateful Dead. And the version specifically was Shakedown Street live in Giza or Gaza, Egypt. Definitely highly recommend listening to it. Because to me that night, I've never heard it the same, but it just sounded like the most beautiful, beautiful electronic mix of Grateful Dead, Funkadelic, whatever. It was just the most beautiful music I'd ever heard, and I was just in pure bliss. And that was the thing that finally made me calm, was hearing that really long Shakedown Street. And at this point, I was starting to know. It was pretty late at night. I was starting to know kind of what was going on, and I still had crazy visuals, but my mind wasn't so fucked. So I at least knew what I was looking at when everything was scribbling around and being all tricky and sneaky, and my phone wasn't hiding on me as much. It was in my pocket when I checked and stuff like that, so I was feeling better. And we chilled there all night in that spot, like next to the weed ground. It was like really peaceful. Like 4 or 5 a.m. They're like, oh, we're tired, we're gonna go to bed. And it's like, okay, so we walk back to my friend's house down the road, climb back in the window shamefully, where I dented his baseboard heater or whatever. We're just sitting in his basement watching, early morning cartoons because it's like 5 or 6 a.m. This is some weird shit. I think it was like Squidbillies. Squidbillies, yeah. Weird shit. Just watch that for like hours until like people started to like move around in the house. And we're like, alright, we gotta like at least pretend like we're waking up or something. So we're like covered up in blankets and we're like chilling, laying back, watching Squidbillies, and I'm not tripping anymore, but I'm still getting intense visuals. And yeah, it just turned out to be chill. Everything worked out okay. I was pretty horrified with the mind-twisting confusion stuff, but it all worked out alright, And in short, we pretended to wake up and go upstairs and kind of say hi to his parents. We're still mildly tripping out. It's like 7:30, 8 a.m. And yeah, it's like, alright, I gotta go home or something. So I just like got in my car and went home and went up to bed and kind of like, probably was slightly tripping out in bed till like noon. Like, the shit was the best acid ever. Oh my god. And yeah, that was my first real acid experience. And I have many stories of many things I've done for the first time. Just stupid stuff me and my friends did as kids that, you know, it's been probably over 10 years since that happened. And I just wanted to record the story, you know, almost for myself. And hopefully it entertains somebody else, you know, in the meantime. It's because it's hilarious looking back. And after that, you know, it's like, whenever it would take like a tab and a half, or like, wow, whatever. You've taken 5 tabs. You know, I know people have taken so much more acid than that. Like, it's just, I didn't like dabbling much farther than that. After the 5-tab experience, I knew, I was like, alright, that's the line. That's the line for me, for sure. And yeah, overall it was a great experience. It scared the shit out of me at some times, super confusing mentally, insane visuals. At certain points, you know, I was blind tripping, like, we were walking up the path and everything was just swirling, and all I had to rely on was the people right in front of me to know where I was going. I didn't even know what my feet were stepping on. But everything turned out okay thanks to some good friends who took care of us, basically, little dumb fuckheads tripping. And if you enjoyed the story in the future, I'm sure I'll get my stories more honed in and to the point. So just like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it, because I got a lot of stories to tell, because, you know, that was like 10 years ago, and you can only imagine what I've gotten into since. So thanks for taking the time to watch, and I hope this educated you a little bit on acid if you've never really taken acid. Maybe I didn't do the best job describing, but I'll work on it in the future. If you have questions, just comment below. You know, the point of this video is harm reduction and education, so that you don't get yourself in too deep and you don't do these same things. So we just went in blind. So, you know, videos like this would help me to know, okay, maybe that's a little bit too high of a dose to go on your second time really trying acid, or even your first time actually really tripping. So I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day. And I'll see you soon.